Some celebs pull up loco. You know we up next, pull up bobos. They gon' be there on repeat, they like, oh no. Where's the mix it up, let's take a photo now. For now, I'm loco. For now, preserve the beat, I'm more loud. I said I'm more loud, I'm more loud.
Yes, my people, then big up yourself, man. Big up the whole Metric community. Make sure you lot smash the likes. It does wonders. You understand? Start your day off right, man. Positive energy, man. I got a video from Fabrizio Romano. He's breaking down a lot of things, etc. We want midfielders and We're going to hear the video. I'm going to play it for you lot now, and then we get straight into it, man. You understand? So big up everyone inside. Remember to smash the likes, my peoples. Let me play this video.
Probably the missing part was a new midfielder, but was also impossible for Man United to do everything on the same summer without European football, without extra money from maybe a Champions League qualification or something like that. So obviously that Europa League final in Bilbao against Tottenham had an impact financially for Manchester United on the market, but on a technical point of view, adding two players like Cunha and Mbeumo was considered something really important by the management and fully approved also by the coach, Ruben Amorim.
You already mentioned that Benjamin Sesko was the signing of Man United of the summer. How did it start? How did Man United approach the player?
Well, look, Man United have always been interested in Sesko because he's a player they know very well, the recruitment team, one of the few strikers at top world-class level available this summer. So for Man United was always part of the list. Then the opportunity to go for Sesko changed it when Red Bull Leipzig started to open the doors to a negotiation for Sesko. So it was not just about a fixed price, but the opportunity to negotiate. They considered the chance to include Rasmus Højlund in the deal. That was not possible because Højlund didn't want to move to Leipzig. But they have several conversations around Sesko because it was considered a perfect opportunity. A player who can develop in the future, who will need time. He's still very young, but with incredible potential. And so Man United were very convinced about this chance, about this opportunity on the market. Then sometimes, obviously, you can't predict the market. Maybe some players don't want to come, and so you have to jump into another opportunity. But Sesko is a player who's always been in the list. And here we have to mention Christopher Wivel, who is part of the Manchester United management, who used to work before going to Chelsea and to Manchester United, so before England, used to work for the Red Bull Group and knows Sesko so well. So internally, he was always pushing Sesko as a good option, and at the end, they were very happy to go for him.
Andre Onana leaving Man United. So can you explain to us the details of this deal?
Yeah, Andre Onana is going to Trabzonspor. It's an exclusive story from the weekend. Now is a done deal because all the documents are signed between all parties involved. So Andre Onana will travel on Thursday this week to Turkey to become a new Trabzonspor player. The deal is a loan from Manchester United, doesn't include a buy option clause, doesn't include a loan fee. Basically, Trabzonspor will pay the salary of Andre Onana, the same salary he's earning at Manchester United, but adding to this a signing fee and bonuses. So Onana will receive a higher salary compared to the salary he's receiving at Manchester United. So this is the agreement. On Thursday is going to be time for travel, medical test, and then the deal will be official with Andre Onana and the big surprise in the Turkish market with former Inter goalkeeper. Imagine Man United 2 years ago paid 55 million euros to sign Onana from Inter, and now he's moving on loan to Trabzonspor.
Touching on this point, so what was the idea behind Manchester United's decision to let Onana leave after what they spent 2 years ago?
Yeah, look, the decision is that basically I think the message from Ruben Amorim was very strong, despite all people talking about fitness, recovering from injury and all these kind of things. Amorim always made clear in all the interviews in press conference that it was a technical decision to leave Onana out in the first 3 games of the Premier League. A player like Onana not playing even one single minute in 3 Premier League games. Okay, he played in the League Cup, but against a 4th division team. This is not Premier League football, and so Onana was completely out of the project at Manchester United. So I think the message from Amorim was very clear. And also Manchester United, when they decided to invest on Senne Lammens as new goalkeeper in the final hours of the summer transfer window, probably having a goalkeeper like Andre Onana sitting on the bench without European football, so you can't rotate, without a League Cup, so you can't rotate even more in English competitions, well, this was probably going to put some pressure. Imagine this is what they feel internally at Man United. Every time there was the lineup of Man United, the news was going to be Lammens is starting and Onana is on the bench, Onana is on the bench, Onana is on the bench. This kind of narrative was probably going to be negative for all people, for the player, for Lammens, for Onana himself, for Manchester United, for Amorim, and so they decided to part ways. Onana accepted this solution and decided to accept Trabzonspor.
So the question is, why Lammens talking about strategies and not Emiliano Martinez?
This has been a 50-50 story till the final 12 hours of the summer transfer window, really. It was a 51% Lammens, 49% Emiliano Martinez. Look, for Man United, it was two completely different opportunities. Obviously, Lammens is a goalkeeper for present and future, a big talent, big skills, considered a top talent in his position, and also cheaper than Emiliano Martinez. Emi Martinez, on the other side, can offer leadership. He's a serial winner with Argentina. He's a goalkeeper who knows the league very well. So obviously, this was two completely different ways. Don't forget about the salary, because the salary of Emiliano Martinez compared to Sané Lammens is completely different. Without mentioning numbers, I never mention salaries, but this was completely different. And also, Man United were hoping to include Jadon Sancho on a permanent transfer to Aston Villa as part of the conversation, but at the end was only a loan. And so the easier solution for Man United was to go for Sané Lammens, but not just the easier, their favorite solution, because he's very young, he's considered a top talent, and they believe with Lammens they don't have just a goalkeeper for 1 or 2 seasons, but they have a goalkeeper for the future.
Talking about the situations that did not happen in this case, Kobbie Mainoo I'm talking about, what was the situation about the player in the last days of the transfer window?
Yeah, the reality is that Kobbie wanted to go. Kobbie wanted to go on loan, as we always said here on the podcast. So Kobbie was very honest. He never wanted to leave Man United as club or as project, but he didn't want to spend the season on the bench. Kobbie was really disappointed when after the game against Fulham, he played 0 minutes, but also Ruben Amorim in press conference says he can play instead of Bruno Fernandes, but Bruno Fernandes is the starter. So Kobbie Mainoo was feeling something like, okay, if Bruno is going to start all the games, as we know he's going to do, because he's the captain, he's the symbol of this team, well, I don't want to be on the bench every single game. Kobbie didn't say that. I'm saying that, but this was the idea behind the player. So Kobbie wanted to go on loan, wanted to play 38 games this season, wanted to be a regular starter elsewhere, wanted to play a World Cup in 1 year with England, because it's something really important for him, and wanted to develop, so to return to Man United in 2026 as a stronger player and ready to compete for a starting spot. Man United immediately told him, no chance, no loan, no permanent transfer, no way. You are staying here. I'm told that this decision even involved the co-owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who was part of this conversation to keep Kobbie Mainoo. So nothing happened. Now, Kobbie will have the opportunity to compete for his spot at Man United, but obviously he wants to play. For him, is really, really important.
Talking about other Man United stars and crucial players, Bruno Fernandes, was he really close to leave the club in the summer?
Yeah, close, probably not that close, but it was a concrete possibility. At the beginning of the summer transfer window, when Al Hilal already end of May, started to go very strong for Bruno Fernandes, Al Hilal made a really important financial proposal. Then we had many stories also on Al Ittihad during the summer, on more stories, Al Ittihad, Al Nasser, completely fake. All the stories you heard in August, in July were completely fake, because there was never any chance for Bruno to leave in July or in August. The only real chance was at the beginning of the transfer window, when Al Hilal tried very strong. They had a negotiation with Bruno and with his agents, but then Bruno decided to turn down the proposal and to stay at Manchester United. But then after that, Bruno never ever negotiated or considered to leave Man United. What I can tell you is that from Saudi, they will keep tracking Bruno Fernandes. So for this summer is over, for this year is over. If you ask me for 2026 or maybe 2027, this will be up to Bruno, not to me. Do you think they will return? My answer is yes. I think from Saudi they will return for Bruno Fernandes, and let's see if at some point they will convince him.
Fabri, can you reveal us one deal that did not happen, that was actually something that was happening behind the scenes?
I will mention Conor Gallagher, because Conor Gallagher in the final 24 hours of the summer transfer window was a target for Man United. We know they wanted to add the midfielder. So for Conor Gallagher, they tried. They had an official contact with Atletico Madrid. Man United asked for a loan deal, maybe with a buy option clause included, paying main part of the salary, but the answer from Atletico Madrid was no chance to let Conor go on a loan deal in the final hours of the window. They wanted to keep Conor Gallagher. Also, Crystal Palace tried to bring him back after being a player of the season there in 2022. So Palace tried, Man United tried in the final hours of the window. But for Atletico Madrid, it was, let's say, not so smart to let go a player like Conor Gallagher in the final hours of the window.
And now, last question, probably the question of the questions for the Man United fans watching us is, who will be the top signing for Man United in 2026?
Look, the position to cover is going to be midfielder. Manchester United will go for a midfielder, an important midfielder in 2026. We see if it's going to be January, if it's going to be summer transfer window. I think Man United have been showing in August that they have very clear ideas, or they get the player they want, especially in that position, or they wait and they prefer to wait for the next two transfer windows. So this is the position of the club. The player they want is Carlos Baleba, at least with Ruben Amorim as a coach. Then if this will change in the future, we will see. But Baleba is considered the perfect player. Man United were very happy with Baleba, very keen and very interested on the opportunity of joining Man United, even without European football. So I think Man United will continue their option, their opportunity to go for Carlos Baleba. From Brighton was a complete closed door this summer. Let's see what's going to happen in the future. I think something
keeps lagging every minute. But yeah, man, he's talking about, he basically done a new podcast, Here We Go podcast. I'll show you now where you can go and watch it if you want to go watch the podcast. We got the boy Fabrizio for that. Let me take this off the screen now. So look at that. This is the Here We Go podcast. Oh, this is him talking about Onana's medical. Onana's medical is actually happening, guys. So this is where we spoke about here. Look, Here We Go podcast has come out at 7 a.m. this morning. So literally about an hour ago, this podcast has come out. Nobody has seen this podcast, bro. This has come out 1 hour ago. Yeah, this is not none of these normal videos. This is a different one. Here We Go podcast with these guys. You get it? He talks about all the things, etc. So if you want to go watch the podcast, that's where you go and watch it. Then he's talking about the loan. My man's medical was already booked. It's definitely happening. Some people are sitting there thinking, what's going on? The only hold up with Onana and why this ain't happened yet is because he's in Cameroon. He's playing the internationals. Do you understand? If he wasn't playing the internationals, then it would probably have happened by now. So that's the situation with this. Yeah, man, the Baleba thing, I told you, came out yesterday and he was telling us we're going to get a midfielder as well. Sean Connolly's told us we should be going for him in January. Look, it just keeps saying the same things. Man United are sticking to their idea of adding one midfielder in January. It is unsure whether that will be a big name like Baleba, etc. I'm going to make the screen a bit closer so you lot can see. I'm going to took myself off the screen there, bro. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens with this midfield talk, man. Hopefully, the boy Baleba, I've showed you that Sean Connolly has said the same thing as well. Man United are prepared to place a bid for Carlos Baleba in January. You understand? Sean Connolly was spot on. When it came to all the stuff about Lamans, Sean Connolly was spot on. He said, bro, but stay on for Lamans. It's not going to be Martinez. It's going to be Lamans, etc. And he stood on that. And then it came out in the end, he was right. Do you get it? So the player has requested that Brighton accept any suitable and is eager to join. Fabrizio saying the same thing. So we're going to have to see what happens with this, man. It seems like we're going to go for him in January. I don't know if they're going to accept it in January, though. Because January, they've already told us a few times that they don't want to sell him. And you know their thing already, Brighton. They want to have the new Baleba ready for next season. So if we go out there in January and we make that bid, we might change their whole style where they have to act a bit quicker and all of that. And I don't think that's what they want to do. So we'll see what happens, man. Here we go, boom. First, Bruno, 100 million to Saudi needs to go. I think that's the end of the season thing. We need Baleba ASAP. This midfield get overrun every game. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the midfield gets overrun like that, especially when we're saying we're playing that counter-attack mid-block thing. But 100% we need a midfielder, though. We can see we need pace in there. Casemiro and Bruno have not got the legs to sit in there together. But yeah, man, that's the Onana stuff, guys, man. It's still happening. People are thinking this thing ain't happening. We've got the Here We Go. It's more or less done, man. He's in Cameroon. So I think he's got to come back on Wednesday because everybody comes back on Wednesday. So I think on Wednesday when he comes back, he packs his stuff. Thursday, he goes to Turkey, and then he does his medical. I think that's how it's going to work. I think the only reason he hasn't gone yet is because he's in Cameroon, internationals. If you want internationals, you'll already be gone. It'll be done already. So that's what's going on. And Wednesday is when everybody comes back. Everybody's back on Wednesday. Let me show you the boy Sully. It's a little transfer update as well for those that missed it. Let me show you, look. Got a little code, man. So look at this, guys. Man United first team is due back to training in Carrington next Wednesday. Sene Lamans is set to have his first group session with his new team next few days will be vital to see if Cunha and Mason Mount will be involved. Remember, we've seen Cunha. He's already training. But look, that's just to show you that that's why Onana hasn't gone. Because everyone is due back on Wednesday from the internationals. So he's going to come back Wednesday, pack his stuff, Thursday go and do the medical in Turkey. That's how it's going to work. That's why Onana's not gone yet. That's the exact reason. So yeah, that's it. We'll see what happens. And obviously Cunha, we had the injury scale of him. He held his hamstring. Everyone thought it's going to be a madness. September the 2nd, literally about a week ago, a hamstring injury is not a joke. Every time you get a hamstring, that's about 3 months. Sully came out and told us Matheus Cunha's injury isn't as serious as first feared. After initial scans, 26-year-old did some light upper body gym work today. Man United have agreed for him to stay and recover in Carrington. So that's what came out on September 2nd. Then we've had some more news about him. Every day we're seeing something. It's brewing and it's getting easier and easier. The man's on the exercise bike already. You've never seen a man be on an exercise bike that quick after they've got a hamstring, bro. Hamstring is 3 months. 3 months or something, you're out. You're not sitting there for straight away. Hold on, let me show you that. Nobody recovers that quick. It doesn't happen that quick. It'll be like 3 months. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Time 20 minutes. Hamstring injury recovery football. This guy's recovering so much. Take days to weeks to severe to Rice. What's that there? Professional take months to heal. Yeah, bro. Look at this. Let me share my screen and show you. Look at this is what a hamstring usually does to you. Hamstring injury and recovery in football depends on severity. Mild strains taking days to weeks to severe to tears, potentially taking months to heal. Months is what it usually takes. 3 months minimum. Everybody knows this. You see a man go down with hamstring, 3 months. You rarely see a man go down with a hamstring and then they're back up straight away. It don't really happen, guys. So yeah, and he came out and said Mason Mount's injury is not even that bad. And then obviously yesterday we saw Cunha with another picture now. This geezer is just training. You wouldn't even think he's injured. Look, he's on Instagram. Look at that. Big bomb. Sundays. What is he trying to say? Sunday because it was the day before yesterday, or is he trying to say he's going to play on Sunday against City? What's he saying? Ticking time bomb Sundays. Manchester. What's he trying to tell us, man? If we get Baleba, do you think we get top 4 match? It depends when. If we get him in if we get him in January and we're in and around the top 4, then of course. If we're around that, we're like top 6, etc., then it shouldn't be a problem. But if we're in the second half of the table or we're 10 points behind top 4, Baleba ain't gonna make a difference, bro. It's gonna steady the ship a little bit, but it's not gonna make a massive difference. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what it depends where you're saying when. That's what it is. It depends when. Smash the likes, my peoples, man. Come on, man. You know I don't really come on this morning, this early anymore. Man's come on early to give you the latest news. The podcast came out an hour ago. I thought, yeah, let me come on quickly and just show you what's going on. Do you understand? That's Cunha out there with what's that guy called? Hardy, Pinero, and H, Manchester rapper. So both of them are United fans. So he's out there with them quickly. Let me show you what else is coming. The Here We Go podcast. And Bumo's come out yesterday. He's done a little thing for Matt from United. And he's basically came out and said, I really want to achieve a lot of things in my career. I know this is not my peak yet. Remember, Bumo's only 26 years old, you know. 26 years old. He wants to achieve a lot of things in his career. He's with it, man. Remember, he's been our most lively signing. Out of all the signings, you could easily say Mbumo's been our most lively one. This is just Fabrizio saying it again yesterday, just talking about Man United are sticking to that idea of adding a midfielder in January. It's going to happen in January, bro. And then I'm going to show you again about the Sean Connolly's and everything, and Fabrizio. It's unsure if it'll be a big player like Baleba or find opportunity elsewhere, etc. A new midfielder will join Man United in January. This guy is saying it with chest. This is how he used to talk about Garnacho to Chelsea. He used to say, Garnacho to Chelsea will be a here we go. This is how he's saying it. He's talking about it with chest. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying to you lot. And then obviously, this is what Fabrizio's coming with this chess. And then bam, like I said to you, Sean Connolly has said we're going to bid for Carlos Baleba in January. This is what I'm telling you lot, man. It's going to happen, man. Something's going to happen here. It won't brew. This ain't going to be brewing for no reason. We're probably going to bid for him in January. Once we bid for him, even if we get rejected, or maybe we bid for him, we get him in January, but he signs in summer. You know them ones? We might get him in January, but then he signs in summer. Like, all right, we've agreed the deal in January, but for him to come when it comes to January June, it might be them situations where, you know what, we'll let him stay there because we don't want to be in a bidding war. Spurs need a 6. Paulina's only on loan. Say they send Paulina back. What happens then? Liverpool need a 6. They went in for Zubamendi. He dissed them. So what happens if Zubamendi goes back? Sorry, Zubamendi. Gravenberch gets injured. That's the only player that they play in at 6 is Gravenberch. So Spurs might go out there. They've got all, not Spurs, Liverpool. They've got all this money now out of nowhere, bro. So this is what I'm saying, man. That's the whole thing, innit? We were trying to blow everyone out the race so that we can have an upper hand on Baleba. That's why we even went there and we've gone for him this year when nobody else is involved with him. So that's what we tried to do. And then look, this is Laurie Whitwell. Everyone, if you support Man United and you're on Twitter, you know Laurie Whitwell is reliable for Man United news. And this is what he said about it as well. He said midfield is the glaring obvious choice for January. Although whether that is still early for United to arrive their pursuit of Carlos Baleba remains to be seen. United attempted to steal a march on rivals for Baleba by holding talks via agents last month. But Brighton made it clear, direct club-to-club talks, that they plan to keep the 21-year-old for another season at least. So this is every single journalist you can think of basically saying midfielder in January is certified Baleba. It could be, could not be, could be, it might. He's the obvious choice, but would they do it still? Brighton, they already spoke to Brighton. Brighton said they're not selling him. There's so much talks. So who knows what's going to happen, man? But we've gone in there to get Baleba in January is what's being said. Like Sean Connolly, I'm telling you, let me show you Sean Connolly, the geezer that's saying. He was, when it came to Lamens, he was adamant we're going to get him. He was not on this joke thing. People coming in talking about Martinez and whatnot. He was saying, no. We're going to get this geezer. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. We released this 2 days ago, highlighting Man United's desire to proceed with a January proposal for Baleba. Major outlets have today confirmed that midfield will be a January priority, both mentioning the player with the uncertainty about whether Brighton will deal. So what he said about Baleba, what I've just showed you lot, he's basically saying, look, everyone is talking about it now. I've already said it 2 days ago. This is what he's saying. Everyone's talking about the Baleba thing now. I already told you lot that 2 days ago. Now everyone's talking about it. Baleba is viewed as a game-changing option to enhance. Let me get rid of that. That's the article, and that's where I showed you lot just now. But where's the Lamens stuff? Let me show you lot Lamens. Because this geezer, he told us we're going to get Lamens, bro. 23-year-old, theatre off the red. I'll take Conor Gallagher. Yeah, look at this. Look. August the 24th, bro. Remember, we got Lamens on deadline day, more or less. That was the 31st of August. August the 24th. This geezer saying, I've received information this morning from the same sources who provided the initial information, barring an unforeseen travesty. Sene Lamens will be a Manchester United player. Temper expectations, but he'll be a significant catch-up. 24th of August, and we signed Lamens on deadline day, more or less, or day before. But people talking about Martinez or what. He was telling us we're gonna get Lamens. He will be a Manchester United player. You know, when you talk that bold, you gotta mean it, mate. You've got to mean it. You understand? You've got to mean it. And that's what he was saying. He came with it with chest, and he was saying it way before. He kept saying it. Look at this. He kept saying it. He kept saying that we're going to get Lamens, bro. So this is where I got my little... This is where I believe in him. From time you come out here and you say something, and you stand by your word, if you stand by it, Fabrizio came out and said, here we go, for Garnacho, it's going to happen. And it happened. Sean Connolly said it's going to happen. For Lamont, it's going to happen. And then Sean Connolly's come out and said, we're going to bid for Baleba in January. Same visa. So, boom. And then Fabrizio's obviously said on his YouTube a few times as well, said Baleba remains the Man United idea for 2026. When in 2026 he talking about? Is he talking about January? Is he talking about summer? What are we talking about here? Ruben Amorim considers him the perfect player for the next step of the project. Baleba's name is approved by the coach, recruitment team, and the management. So everybody's in sync from the top to the bottom. Baleba is the guy. There's no one else. I'm not surprised that Man United did not decide to invest in any midfielder in this transfer window, because keep an eye on Carlos Baleba. That's all we want, bro. And let me show you why that makes sense. Me personally, I don't think we're even going to go for him in January, you know. I don't think we're going to go for him in January. This is what Sean Connolly is saying, and I believe Sean Connolly, but I don't think we're going to mess up the relationship, man. I reckon we'll have little talks with him. We might go for him, but I don't think we'll get him in January. I think it's going to be a thing for next season. That's what I think it is. And let me show you, obviously, we've got all the links about Bruno and Saudi. That keeps brewing. And if you watch the video that I played in there, Fabrizio said it himself as well. He said, oh, yeah, he told them already early in the window he doesn't want to leave, but you don't know about next season. Next season, he said he's kind of more open. Ben Jacobs said the same thing as well. And I'll show you now. This is the articles that came out about Bruno and Casemiro. And this is going to get to the Baleba stuff. So make sure you listen out. Man United's captain, Bruno Fernandes, is reportedly open to a move to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, this is 2 days ago. Man United captain Bruno Fernandes turned down from multiple PIF-owned Saudi clubs this summer, including a direct approach from Cristiano Ronaldo and Al Nassr. For those that don't know, Cristiano Ronaldo signed a new contract with Al Nassr where he's got transfer rights now, where he's involved with the transfers. He gets to say who he wants to sign. What type of madness is that? So he can sit there and say, I want us to get Bruno Fernandes. I play with him. He's a baller, boom, boom, boom. So think about it like this. The 30-year-old was tempted by the opportunity, but I decided to stay at Man United ahead of the 2026 World Cup. However, he remains open. He remains open to Saudi Arabia, with the deal makers still intent on signing him next summer. So he remains open. And what's this, guys? Ben Jacobs has come out and said this. Bruno Fernandes was subject of an informal approach from Al Nassr in late July. This was communicated directly to Ronaldo, who is now directly involved in Nassr's recruitment. But Bruno was firm in his desire to stay in Europe for at least another year. So let me tell you why this makes a lot of sense here. Ronaldo wants him at Al Nassr. The World Cup is here. A lot of players don't want to go to Al Nassr and all these Saudis because no one sees you for the World Cup. Only Ronaldo and Messi can play in these leagues and still make the World Cup. A lot of players can't go to these leagues and then still, the eyes are still on you. People are going to forget about you. The manager might not be able to pick you, etc. So Bruno Fernandes said, I'm going to stay another year at least, and then I might be open. He remains open to Saudi. So remember, he never told Saudi flat out, I don't want nothing to do with you. Like, he told them, I want to stay another year. Ben Jacobs is saying it there. Look at the last line for the last article. I want to stay in Europe for at least another year. Look at the last line of TalkSport, the last paragraph. He remains open to Saudi Arabia, with deal makers still intent on signing him next summer. So that's that. Now we get into this one. Look at this. This is Steve Pearson that's come out and spoke about this. And he talks about the wage bill, etc. And he said, huge money, Man United start in final season with a double exit to slash 650k a week of wage bill. So Casemiro makes 350k a week. Bruno makes 300k. Casemiro is leaving for free. He's got 1 year left, and we're not even talking to him about contracts. He knows he's going to leave for free. He's happy. He's cool. But why did Casemiro stay? Casemiro stayed because of the World Cup. Same thing I'm telling you, lot. If he goes to Saudi, he might not make the World Cup. You might not see him as much. So you know what? Let me stay in Europe for 1 more year. Then I'm going to leave as a free agent, go to Saudi, get my money. Because remember, you get a bonus when you're a free agent, right? So they're predicting that Bruno goes as well. I think Bruno could go. Bruno's going to be, he's 31 yesterday. It was Bruno's birthday yesterday. He's 31. Next season, he's going to be 32. Saudi's coming through. You're a baller. Go out there, get a mad wage, 500K a week or some madness. Live your life, bro. I think Bruno goes. But let me show you what it says. Fabrizio Romano has strongly suggested a mega money Man United star will leave at the end of 2025 to 2026, while multiple reports state the end is near for Bruno Fernandes too. Back on August 26, when the window was still open, Romano stated Bruno is happy at Man United. And if you ask me, in the future, does Bruno have any chance to join Saudi Pro League? I think yes. Yes. This is Fabrizio Romano saying this, guys. This is not any person. This is Fabrizio Romano saying, I think yes, Bruno will go to the Saudi Pro League. This is what I'm saying. And I keep telling you, this example. The World Cup went for us and against us. I like Bruno, but I understand if he goes, he's 32, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people don't like Bruno. And the reason why Bruno didn't leave is because of the World Cup. I would rather Casemiro go and we get a different midfielder. The reason why Casemiro didn't leave is because of the World Cup. Kobe Mainoo, why does he want to leave? He wants to leave so he can get games and hopefully make the World Cup. See what I'm saying? And it goes for us because the whole bomb squad left. If we didn't have the World Cup, Anthony, Sancho, all these guys wouldn't want to go somewhere to play. Garnacho, they might just be sitting on the bench. Don't care. Because we got the World Cup, it goes for us and against us. Someone like Højlund would have never left if there was no World Cup. But he realised, bruv, I'm not going to play World Cup this year. Let me just go Napoli. You see what I'm trying to say to you? So that's what's going on. And then it goes on to say, this is Fabrizio Romano, people, yeah? Saudi sides have always been there and they will return to the table for sure because they love Bruno Fernandes, his quality, his leadership, so they will return. But at the moment, it's not something close or imminent for Bruno to join our Etihad. So at the moment, Man United keep thinking Bruno will complete this season at the club, then we will see from 2026. So are you not seeing what's going on here? Fabrizio saying the Man United know he's gonna complete this season and the next season. So what I think we're gonna do, bro, is go out there and revamp the whole midfield. That's what I think is gonna happen. We're gonna revamp this whole midfield because Casemiro leaves on a free. Fabrizio himself is saying that Bruno is very likely to leave. Like you can see it happening, etc. Saudi clubs are waiting for him. 2026. He's going to be 32. I reckon he leaves at the end of the season. I swear to you. They probably come offer us at 80 million or something. I don't think it'll be 100 anymore. Probably give us 80 million. Bam. That 80 million, we could go and buy another midfielder that's ready now. We've already got the Baleba money. Remember that, guys. The Baleba money is already there. We still didn't even spend the Garnacho money. Garnacho is pure profit. That 40 million we got for Garnacho, we can spend 120 million. 3 times that amount because he's from our academy. He's pure profit. So we've got the Baleba money that's already there that we was ready to bid before any sales even came. We've got the Garnacho money, and then look how much money we're going to have, say, from Bruno, say like an 80 mil or 60 million. But then you've got to think about the wages. 650K wages is crazy. I don't think you lot are praying that. 650K off the wage book. And then we're not even thinking about Sancho's on like 250 to 300. That's already like 900. Then we get in thing off as well. Rashford, hopefully, that's another 300. That's like a mil something gone off the wage books. And then you can replace that with players that are actually going to come be hungry. Someone like Baleba, he's on 12K a week. You give that guy 100 and I'm good with that. Remember, we already agreed personal terms with Baleba, you know. And we don't offer people big wages. The highest person that's on a big wage from Ineos. Since Ineos has come in, the highest person on wages is De Ligt on 190. We don't do this 250 mad stuff that we gave Sancho and all of that. We don't do that no more. So that's looking very likely, man. And look, let me carry on with it. Romano's reporting with the echoes by a separated update from Daily Mail that stated Bruno Fernandes will be open to leaving Man United at the end of the season after rejecting interest from Saudi this summer. He's going to leave and end the season. I think Bruno goes. He's do one more year. Bruno and Casemiro both leave. Harry Maguire leaves as well. Remember that, guys. Harry Maguire's got 1 year left. Harry Maguire's got 1 year left. Casemiro and Sancho. All 3 of them have got 1 year left. and we're not offering them another contract. They know we're not offering them another contract. They're all happy with it. Maguire said, I'll ride out one more year. Casemiro's riding out one more year, and Sancho is gone on loan. He's getting paid for now, mostly by Villa, and then he's going to leave on a free. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? So this is what I'm saying to you, man. I reckon he goes, man. I reckon he goes. I reckon Bruno goes, man. I'll be real with you, lot. I reckon Bruno leaves at the end of the season, and Casemiro leaves, and we revamp that midfield differently. We proper revamp it. I'm telling you lot now. We get Baleba, we get things. Let me show you lot right now. Look at this, guys. Let me show you lot, so you lot understand what's happening. So you lot understand exactly what's going on here. What's this? Look at this. This is the contract. Does it look too far? Should I zoom in a little bit? Look at this, guys. So this is the contracts. Harry Maguire, end of contract. This is the end of the season. I don't know what these... Why is this thing popping up, man? It's all blocking my face. Harry Maguire, this is the top one anyway. His contract ends on the 30th of June, 2026. Casemiro, 30th of June, 2026, option for a further year. We're never going to press that button for the further year. It's not even worth it. Tyrell Malacia, last bomb squad member, the final bomb squad member. His contract ends in the end. Let me move myself off the screen so you lot can see properly. Bam. So this is what's going on, guys. Harry Maguire, end of contract, 30th of June. So he leaves for free. Casemiro, we could extend it for another year if we wanted to, but why would we do that and give him 350 if we don't want him? Tom Heaton, we gave him just a 1 year, just in case the goalkeepers got injured. Tyrell Malacia, bomb squad member, left. We're never going to give him anything. So that is what we're dealing with. Sancho as well. Remember that, you know. Sancho's in this as well, but because he's not playing for us, he's not on this list. You know what I'm trying to say to you, lot? Because he's not playing for us, he's not on this list. But Sancho's here as well. Sancho runs out. His contract runs out after this as well. But this is what I'm saying, man. I reckon Bruno's gone. Bruno will get some money for. So I reckon Bruno, we get some money for him. Let me get back to the article. Yeah, Bruno, we get some money for him. 100%. Because obviously his contract's not running out for now. So we can get money for Bruno. You see what I'm trying to say to you, though? Let me get rid of this. Stop sharing. Cool. So yeah, that's the situation with this, guys, man. I reckon that's the situation, man. We're gonna get this off the wage bill next season, and that's when Baleba comes in. It makes more sense. You saved £1 million, then you can go out there and sign players that you actually want, that are more hungry, and it makes sense. This is why I reckon we might just wait to the end of the season. Casemiro leaves, Bruno leaves, and we revamp it. Baleba, maybe another midfielder that's good with the ball. Menu, now you can start, but you've got that person there is your thing, is your rival. Whoever we go out there and buy, say it was a Wharton or something. Obviously, Real Madrid want Wharton now. You've seen the links about Wharton. We're meant to be going in for Wharton in January and all of that talks as well. I'll show you the article in a second, but now Real Madrid want Wharton as well. This is crazy. So I don't know if it will be Wharton. But let me show you that the last article, and this is mostly on Casemiro. For Man United, he remains an important player, but also on a big salary. So to save that salary in 2026 could be important for Man United in terms of FFP, waiting to see if they'll be in Europe, which kind of European competition, etc. So obviously we're at the beginning of the season, but Casemiro is one to watch for 2026. And what I guarantee now is Casemiro is fully focused on Man United, blah, blah, blah. So this is the situation. So like I said, this was this season. Casemiro next season, he's gone. We're never going to give him another contract. It wouldn't even make no sense to give him another contract. It wouldn't even make sense. Hi, Baleba, hopefully in January. Do any players need to be sold to make this happen or line them up? Nope. We've already got the Baleba money. We've had it from ages ago. And I'll show you that. You don't want to talk about who said it. Is the person reliable? Of course the person's reliable. Ben Jacobs came out here and told us we would have bidded for Baleba already. We've got the money. So let me show you right now, brother. I'll make the screen a bit closer. You might not see my face though. If Brighton had given the green light, regardless of the price, within reason, of course, Manchester United would have made a bid. And actually, that would have been a big bid. Very possibly a package in and around 100 million. The money's there. Look at the date, 28th of June. We sold Garnacho in that after. We never made a sale until like the 30th. 28th of June, we've already got the money. He's telling us we would have made a big bid around 100 million. So the money's already there. We don't even need the money. It's already there. There was no price set by Brighton for Baleba. If you want to protect the club-to-club relationship, it can be beneficial to walk away. If they say no and then you bid, it might create headlines and the club might not like that. Then you're in a position where the next time you want to deal with them, your relationship is damaged. This is why we backed off. So we backed off because we said we don't want to ruin the relationship. But we could go back in for January and say, yo, you know what now, big man? Let us bid for him now, but then we get him in summer. What Chelsea done with Estavio and Quenda and all of that. They bought them, come in another season. So we might do something like that. Let's buy you now. And then, because we don't want the competition. That's our thing. So we don't want to damage. And one club you don't want to damage, your relationship with is Brighton. They've got gems coming out of their arse, bro. You don't want to damage the relationship with Brighton. I tell you that now. And this is our link to Wharton. This is why I'm saying Wharton, Real Madrid is looking a bit mad. If Wharton goes to Real Madrid, we're not even in that race no more, but we did want him. 28th of August, you can see the date there. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying to you. I don't think we need to sell anyone because on the 28th, before we sold any player, Ben Jacobs already came out and told us we would have made a bid if they let us. But they told us, no, we don't want to sell him right now next season. So the money is already there. And that's before we made a sell. Imagine now that we've actually sold Garnacho, Anthony, Sancho's wages are going to come off, all these guys. Imagine that now. We've got money to go and get 2 midfielders, literally. Man United should sign a midfielder in the winter transfer window, another consideration match. All these World Cup qualifiers and then AFCON may see injuries. We need good players. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of games going on right now, man. They don't get a rest. Remember, you see, to us, we feel like we're getting a rest for club football because Man United didn't play for 2 weeks. Fuck's sake, man. We're getting bored of that. To them, they're still playing. They're still going out there playing with their countrymates and that. They don't get a rest, bro. It's crazy. Madness. Man United should sign him in. Yeah, he's told me about 5 times, Prince. We should get a decent fee for Bruno if he goes in the summer. 100%. 100%. Why are you putting Baleba in January in the caption? Cool. I played the video. Fabrizio came out with a video and he's basically saying that, yes, that's one to look for, Baleba in 2026, etc. And then obviously look at this. These are Sean Connolly, who is very reliable when it comes to, he's been reliable recently, especially when it came to the Lamans news, etc. And he said this Baleba stuff 2 days ago, and then now everyone's talking about it. And he said, Man United are prepared to place a bid for Carlos Baleba in January to see off any of rival suitors. The player has requested that Brighton accept any suitable bid and is eager to join Ruben Amorim's group with or without European football, as he views the growing project of an irresistible opportunity. Laurie Whitwell's come out and said the same thing. Not said January, but he said January we're in for a midfielder. We're going to see if it's going to be someone like Baleba or not. Fabrizio saying the same thing. Are we going to go for Baleba or are we going to go for another midfielder? But midfield in January is looking like what we're going to do. So that's what's going on. That's why Baleba January's in there. Every time I say something on the thumbnail, you know me. It's always there somewhere. I don't do the clickbait thing. So this is what's going on. It's looking like it could be Baleba. It might not be, etc. If anyone wants to watch the, remember, like I said to you, the podcast that just came out, I've done the video. I played the video in it anyway, but if you want to go and watch it, you can go on the Here We Go podcast, I think it's called. It just came out about an hour or two ago, literally. Yeah, so that's what's going on. This is it here. This is the podcast, guys. That just came out 2 hours ago, mate. 2 hours ago. Yeah, no one ain't said this to you, lot. There's no way. So that's why I'm saying, man. I think Baleba is going to be a mad one, but I think we're going to have to wait for Casemiro and Bruno to leave at the end of the season. Once they've left, the wage bill, 650k off. Sancho leaves for free. That's another 250, 300. Maguire's leaving for free. That's $1 million. Just them, that's $1 million. That's $1 million gone from Casemiro, Bruno, Maguire, and Sancho. $1 million off the wage books. And then you go and get players. I think they're going to revamp the whole midfield. We should get a decent fee for Bruno. Yeah, I think we'll get like an 80 million minimum. 80, 70, 60 minimum, I'll say. 60 minimum. Why are you putting... Oh, shit, I just said that one. But Baleba is good, Wharton is best. You think Wharton's better than Baleba? I think both of them could play next to each other. Match that looks correct. If it was after that, additional funds came in from Ghana. Yeah, bro. This is what I'm saying to you. That's what I'm saying. We never sold no one until the 28th, till about the 30th. And this came out on the 28th. No, not this one. This one. Ben Jacobs told us we were ready to bid on the 28th of June, and we got all of our funds after the 30th. So that's what I'm saying to you. Like, think about it. If he's ready saying that we're ready to bid with 100 million on the 28th, and then we've only got money after the 30th from sales, we've already had the Baleba money. And then now we've got extra money. So really, we could go out there and get 2 midfielders if we wanted to. You know what I'm going to say? All these sales came after the 30th, bro. All of them. A lot of them were deadline days and just the day before, etc. Rashford obviously went earlier on loan. Lindelof left time ago. I don't even know why Lindelof's on this list, to be honest. You understand? But yeah, man, that's what we're dealing with, man. That's what we're dealing with. Okay, I see. Would be smart to buy in Jan than arrive in June. That's what I'm saying, Rasmus. That's what I think is the smartest thing to do. If they don't want to do business where he goes now, maybe we buy him in Jan. Because this is our guy. This is who we want, etc. Because, bro, Tottenham need a 6. They got Paulino on loan right now, but that's one guy and he's on loan. They might send him back. Liverpool went in for Zubamendi. He turned them down. They haven't got a 6 since. They've got every position, not a 6. Liverpool. Man City, they got Rodri, but he's got all these little injury problems. I know they got that Nico Gonzalez, but Pep don't rate him. Pep never plays that Nico Gonzalez guy. Kovacic. So maybe they've got a few guys that could play. The Kovacic is injured, but still, people are saying City could go in there. So I don't know, man. It's a weird one, but to just blow everyone out of the park, I don't think Arsenal go in there. Arsenal got Zubamendi, Rice, Norgard. Chelsea have got Lavia, Caicedo. I don't think they go there. Yeah, so I think it's only us, Liverpool, or maybe Tottenham. So to make sure that no one else comes in, you got to remember, there's other clubs as well, like a Bayern or something. Bayern Munich. Kimmich is getting a bit older. You know what I'm saying? There's other clubs that might turn around and go, you know what, we'll go for Baleba. So we don't know. We've got to have our wits up. And that's what Laurie Whitwell said. He said, we went in for Baleba last season so that we can have the upper hand on everyone else. Because we know this geezer is going to be the next best thing. Everyone's gonna be in for him. So that's the reason that we went in for him. So it's brewing, man. Why is it brewing? Why is everyone talking about Baleba every day? Something's going on. Why is everyone talking about him every day? Do you know what I'm saying? Midfield is the glaring obvious choice for January, although it's a bit early to see if we're going to revive in Baleba. United attempted to steal a march on rivals for Baleba. That's why we went in so early. So we might do the same thing in January. Go in a bit more earlier. Let's do a deal for next season. And the way Baleba's been playing this season, bruv, they'll be lucky to get 100 million. The way he's been playing this season, they'll be lucky to get 100 million. Literally. Maybe Man United's on his mind. That's why he's not really playing up to scratch. Obviously, it's only 3 games, whatnot. But it is what it is. But they'll be lucky to get 100 million right now. I can't... We sent Postecoglou's the new manager for Forest. Ready to accept the job. Postecoglou. Crazy. We're going to get a here we go in a minute. Look at this. Here we go is coming for Postecoglou. This geezer that won the Europa, but still, his football is mental. Postecoglou's football is crazy. Let's get both, and then we solid. Yeah, we could get both, but let me show you about Wharton. I'll put it in my thumbnail. I have to show you that Wharton is linked with Real Madrid, bro. And I think it's Fabrizio as well that said it. Wharton is linked with Madrid. Remember, we're linked with Wharton. Chelsea's linked with Wharton as well. Look at this. Confirmed. Fabrizio Romano. Real Madrid are interested in Adam Wharton. Other clubs are also monitoring him. It could be a topic for 2026. But me knowing Real Madrid, they don't usually buy players, man, for like 80 million and that, man. They usually just wait to get them on a free or something. But bro, they're in for him, man. It's crazy. But to be honest with you, look, though, the good thing about us and our new scouting thing, bro, we're only linked with ballers. We're linked with Wharton, Stiller, Baleba, Cunha, and Bumo. Sesko's got a lot of potential. We're linked with actual ballers now. You know what I'm trying to say? That's why it's good. And you know, if they don't go and get Wharton because he goes to Madrid, there's someone else there. You know what I'm trying to say? That they'll probably go for someone else, maybe a Stiller or someone else that's a ball playing midfielder. Gallagher, I think Gallagher was just an option for the energy. That's just an option for energy. I don't think Gallagher's actually like, we want him, we want to buy him. That's why we only went in for a loan. I don't think we'll buy Gallagher. That's just energy, loan, and then at the end of the season, if he was to fit the bill, like, maybe we keep him as a depth player, but I don't think he's number one. You can tell that we want ballers. Someone like Baleba, and then put like a Wharton next to him or whatever. You get Mayno in there with a, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what's going on with Wharton, man. I don't know. Like I've said, I've showed you, like we've got articles of us being linked with Wharton. I just showed you, like Ben Jacobs said it. And then obviously more articles came out and said that us and Chelsea are actually in a battle for Wharton. So let me show you, look now. If you look at this, look at the last article. It says Adam Wharton is the one that they really United. But it's surprising if Crystal Palace will sell. Obviously, this is this season. Look at the date at the bottom, 28th. And then we had this come out after, which said that according to Team Talk, United and Chelsea are front runners in the race to sign Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace in the January transfer window. The reports claim the two Premier League clubs have shortlisted the 21-year-old midfielder as a key target. It is said that United and Chelsea view Wharton as a potential game changer. The former Blackburn Rovers playmaker sees contract at Selhurst Park expire June 2029. Man United are planning to break their bank. A 100 million plus move for Baleba, along with a second big addition in midfielder on the agenda. Look at that. I've been saying this, that we're going to probably get two. Because we've got the money for Baleba there already. Casemiro leaves, we go and get another midfielder. Bruno leaves, you probably get three midfielders. Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? And that's this, and then Ben Jacobs just talks about Chelsea there, that they've added Wharton to their list. So that shows that this article is true. Because Ben Jacobs said that Man United are in for him, which I just showed you here, that we like him. And then Ben Jacobs says that Chelsea are in for him. And then this one says, we want Baleba and another addition. So this is what I'm saying, bro. Wharton was on the agenda, but I just showed you that Real Madrid are involved now. But Real Madrid don't spend 80 million on players, bro. They don't really do that anymore. 70, 80 million. Unless they know that he will come good, like they done with Bellingham. It's true. But more time, they just want you on a free. You know their thing. Let's get you on a free, run down your thing. We'll get you for the cheapest possible. But Wharton, bro. But the way they're playing at the moment, they're playing Arda Güler as Wharton. That's their guy. They're playing Arda Güler as that Wharton type of player that's basically controlling the midfield, etc. So I don't know if they go for him in the end. You understand? I don't know if they need it, but maybe it's just a market opportunity for them. But bro, if Fabrizio's saying that there's a lot of clubs monitoring him, then it's going to be a big race for him. A big race. For those that's missed it, I know some people keep asking. Some people keep coming in the chat and saying, what's going on with Nana? Why is he still not gone, bro? Nana's going to travel to Turkey tomorrow. And the only reason Thursday. The only reason he hasn't done it yet is because he's at international break and everybody comes back on Wednesday. All the players come back to their clubs on Wednesday and then they get ready for the weekend. Premier League's back on the weekend. So he's coming back to Man United on Wednesday, probably going to say his goodbyes, grab his stuff, his cocoa butter that he likes to put in his gloves every minute, and then he's going to make his way to Turkey. That's why it's taking long. It can't fail, nothing. People are scared something might happen, it might fail. It can't fail. It's already done. It's already signed for everything. He's just in. The only hold up is he's in Cameroon, whatever he is at the moment, playing for the World Cup qualifiers. That's what it is. I feel in the World Cup year coming up, Bruno will stay to at least summer window. Yeah. That's what it is. The World Cup. Yeah. He is gonna stay. He can't leave now. Yeah. I know what you mean. You're talking about January, innit? Yeah, that he won't leave. No. I don't think any of them are leaving. Casemiro or Bruno. I think they leave at the end of the season for free. What would be the point of Casemiro leaving and he don't get a fee when he can wait to the end of the season and get a fee for being a free agent? You get a fee to signing on. When you sign on, you actually get money. Instead of the club getting money, you will get money. So you might get like a 5 million yourself just for signing on as a free agent. So Casemiro will do that with Saudi. And Bruno, I think the same thing. I think Bruno would, obviously they'll buy him, innit? You won't get the fee, but you'll think. So yeah, man, we'll see what happens, man. It's brewing, man. A lot of shit's brewing. Let me show you some more news. Obviously, we had the injury stuff about Manchester City. Haaland might have been injured. Indy Kaler said that, didn't he? We had that yesterday. I don't know if anything's come out from it. We'll know today. Remember, Haaland's playing. Norway's playing today. And this geezer had problems with the door or something like that. He hit his face on the door. He's meant to be injured, apparently. But then Indy Kaler saying, look, Erling Haaland hurt himself with a door and had to be stitched up 3 times while on duty for Norway. Manchester City say he'll be fit for the derby. Look at his face. That's stitches. Sometimes they don't let you play because they say, yo, if that touches your mouth, remember, it's a physical game, innit? A man might barge you or elbow you by accident or a header and you start bleeding, etc. So we'll see in it. Obviously, he's playing today with Norway. So we'll see if he's in the lineup, if he plays, etc. If he plays, of course, he's going to be there for the derby. But if he don't, who knows? But these little things, because you've got stitches, they might think 3 stitches by a bus door. So Haaland, we'll see what happens with Haaland. If he plays or not, we'll see. This is the thing. This is what I'm telling you about Ineos. How they've changed everything, man. The Glazers, look at what they were paying the players in wages. 242. And then obviously a few of them left. And it dropped to 195. And look at what it's dropped to now, 158 million. And when this ain't even including Sancho's leaving at the end of the season, Rashford's leaving at the end of the season, Casemiro's leaving at the end of the season. That's £1 million alone, them 3 players. Them 3 players are £1 million alone that are all 100% leaving. Maguire could leave. It's about 80% chance. They ain't offered him a new contract, but I don't know. So think about it. Think about how much that's going to drop from just them 3. And imagine if Bruno Fernandes leaves, and that's another top earner. Bro, all of our top earners on 300Ks and that are more or less going. Rashford, Casemiro, Sancho, and maybe Bruno. Come on, bro. The highest earner from Ineos is De Ligt on 190. So imagine if we turn around and Bumo and Cunha are not on 100, are not on more than 200. Sesko's on 160. The highest person is on 190. So imagine if we do the same thing. Baleba's on 12K apparently at Brighton, yeah? Yo, brother, come true. Here's 120. You stay that with there. Someone else comes in. Another midfielder. What, you're on 80, yeah? No problem. Here's 130. You just keep it subtle. So all that 300Ks and that, you've gone mad. You've got to be a legend here. You've got Mo Salah in at 400K and Van Dijk at Liverpool. But they've earned it. They've been there. They've won titles. So they've renewed. They've earned it now. They can be on 400K and no one can say anything. They've done a lot over there. That's how it needs to be. Man's got to earn their position to be able to be here on this type of money. You got what I'm trying to say to you, lot? I read somewhere that up to 11 players may not be fit for the derby match. I'll show you, look, right now, the Manchester City stuff. So Manchester City, there was an article that came out the other day saying that 10 players are out for the derby. But I'll show you, I think it's about 8 now. It's about 8. If you add Haaland in that, you could say 11. This is the article from Manchester Evening News from Alex James. I don't know Alex James, but I know Samuel Locker. He's good for Manchester Evening News. And this is what they said. Manchester City could be without 10 players for the Manchester derby. Manchester City injury news with John Stones, the latest concern for Pep Guardiola's side. And then it starts off by saying, John Stones, muscle injury. Remember, he went to England. He played every game this season. He went to England, Thomas Tuchel. This is what he said. He says, look, 31-year-old, I started all 3 City games so far this season and played the full 90 minutes against Brighton before meeting up with England. But the 3 Lions boss, Thomas Tuchel, said he didn't want to risk the centre-back in the World Cup. and obviously they play Serbia and Andorra. So he didn't want to risk him because this geezer's like, he's like Luke Shaw. John Stones is like Luke Shaw. He's always injured. So he didn't want to risk him because I think he felt something in his leg or something. Let me show you exactly what Tuchel said about him. Tuchel said we're playing them next. We've got to do our opposition watch. Do you understand? This is exactly what he said, Thomas Tuchel, about John Stones. So this is one, yeah? John Stones has left the England camp with a muscle problem. He came with a minor muscle issues in camp, and he hasn't progressed how we hoped. We won't take the risk. We won't take the risk. So this is what he's talking about. That's one of them. Yeah, so that's one. Let's count that. That's one person that's definitely injured because he's got minor muscle issues and he didn't even play for England where they will take the risk. So cool, we count. John Stones is injured. Kusanov, he went down injured against Brighton. And he's one of the fastest players I've seen, mate. So we want him not to play because they play this high line. So, mate, we can't have him playing. Kusanov faces race to be fit for the derby after pulling out of the Uzbekistan squad with a calf injury picked up in City's win against Brighton. The 21-year-old came off injured towards the end of the Blues' defeat on the South Coast, and tests have revealed he has picked up a minor injury that is set to keep him out for 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from the time he got injured, we'll bring him back for the derby, but would they risk him straight away? You got what I'm trying to say to you? Would you risk him 2 weeks? If they're telling you he's going to be out for 2 weeks, he's still healing, etc. You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't know. I don't know if you will still bring him. Could you take the risk? No injury. I think Kusanov is found. Yeah, it says 2 weeks. So I'm trying to look at who it is here, and it says 2 weeks. Yeah, look at this. So we're researching all of them to know who's actually injured and who's not. Like I said, 2 of them on that list. I don't think Kusanov will not feature for Uzbekistan over the international break after suffering a minor injury to his left calf muscle against Brighton. The recovery period is expected to be 2 weeks. So he could make it, but a smart coach will say, we're not even going to risk you because it's too limited. But we played last week. We played last week, innit? Yeah. They played what? And Brighton, was it the week before last or last week? So the 2 weeks will land on the Manchester derby. And he's the only one out of them that I wouldn't want to play because he's got speed and they play a high line. So the last thing we want is someone with speed. Their defenders right now ain't got no speed. And Bumo, Dorgu, and Aman and Sesko should be having a field day at this time. So that's Kusanov anyway. Let's rule him out. So he might be injured. He's a bit 50-50. Rico Lewis, the defender, pulled out of the England under-21 squad with an undisclosed injury. City said the fullback will be assessed. I don't care if he plays or not. We can play Rico Lewis. Like I said, Rico Lewis played 5 minutes of the Brighton game, and then under-21s, he pulled out. So I don't know if Pep is telling them to pull out or he's just saying, yo, there's no point me playing because I feel something. I'm still not 100% yet. He only played 5 minutes. Phil Foden, he's out. The midfielder missed the Brighton game with an injury. He missed the final friendly of the summer with an ankle injury that saw him out of the squad for the Premier League opener against Wolves. So Phil Foden ain't playing at all. Turkey, this guy's been giving it all, giving it the big one, all on Twitter and everything, saying, yeah, I can't wait to kill Man United and da-da-da-da-da. The guy can't even make it fit for the game. The guy's a clown. So Turkey's out for 3 months. Turkey missing 10 matches with the forward absent for the defeat against Brighton. He didn't even play against Brighton. But look at what the geezer was saying. And he couldn't even make it fit for the game. This silly guy. Because we beat him with Lyon, he got excited. Turkey really hates United. I'm waiting for them, for the game to kill them. That's what Turkey was saying. He hates us so much, but the guy can't even make the game. Idiot. But anyways, Nouri had an ankle injury that he suffered in the early stage of the Tottenham game. The 31-year-old summer signing for Moores played against Brighton but did not join up with the Algerian squad for their World Cup qualifiers. So he didn't join up with the Algerian squad, but apparently he's going to be fit to play off. This is what the Algerian manager came out and said, that he thinks it's a minor injury and that he should be able to play the next match. So I don't know. I don't know if he'll play, but I'll be real. You see the City fans. I've been watching a few of the City fans, innit? Like, and they're saying we don't want him to play. You get what I'm gonna say? We don't want him to play. He's a shambles on that left-hand side. They ain't got no faith in Aït-Nouri. But this is what got said about him. Algerian manager Vladimir Petkovic on Ryan Aït-Nouri's injury. The doctor said it's not serious. Man City plan to have him play in the next match. So this is what they're saying. The Algerians, they didn't take him on. They didn't take him on to come and play their important games for their World Cup qualifier. But they're saying that it's not serious, he's injury, but Man City will play him in the next match. Remember, he's a good right back going forward, or left back he is, going forward. But defending, he's not the best. And someone like Mbeumo is going to be on that side, should give him a long day. So we'll see what happens with him. Like I said, the City fans don't want him to play. They're saying, bro, we don't want him to play. He's been having it hard. I think Minte had a field day with him with the Brighton game. And then we got Vardio. Vardio is not coming up injured anymore for some reason. He's not coming up injured. I'm not seeing him anywhere. And they've got a little list where they haven't got Vardio on the list. So I don't know if he plays or not. Not long ago until we see Vardio ball. So yeah, I'm trying to find it, but I could not see if Vardio is I cannot see if Vardio is fit anywhere. But let me show you something. I'm going to show you their updated version. Obviously, they'll probably know more than this thing. So after that article came out, they had another version of their injuries on their own Twitter. And they haven't got Vardio in there or Savino. So Vardio could play. I don't know. It says he's injured there, and it's unknown why he's injured. But they've got their own version, which I'm going to show you in any second now. As soon as I find it, Man City Fever. Where is this thing? Yeah, cool. Let me show you that right now. They've got their own updated version, and it does not have Vardio in there. Where is it? There it is. The one. Look at that. That's who it's got injured. Vardio's not there. The 4 bottom ones are all defenders and Kusunov. So there's 5 defenders here, 3 midfielders, all out. But I reckon we should have beat them anyway, regardless. I reckon regardless, we should have been beating them anyway, man. City are not the same team, man. I'm telling you, man. I think Pep's done. Pep's too stubborn. He's like Amrin. They're stubborn, isn't it? He knows his style. It works. He's not going to sit back and all of that. So I think this is what's going to happen, man. I think that's the situation. So I think this is it now, 8. And if we go back to that list, it kind of makes sense because O'Reilly, he's still on the list. Kovacic has got his Achilles. He's not playing. And Savino is training. I've seen Savino training. They was excited about him training the other day. So Savino's not on this list and Vardio's not on this list. So hopefully it stays. I wouldn't mind Vardio playing. I don't care. He's all right. But the only guy that I don't want to play out of all this whole list is this guy, Kusunov. I swear to you, though. This Kusunov guy is so fast that he will just put out our attacks. And that's how we're going to play City. That's how you play City and beat them now. It's counter-attack, mid-block, etc. Everyone's having a field day. Long ball, over the top. So the only guy I don't want to play is this Kusunov guy in the right, top right. Apart from the rest of them, I wouldn't even care. I think we beat them regardless anyway. So that's where we're at with this big man. The 11 players, it could be 8 only now. It's probably 11 if you can't Haaland in, but Haaland's thing's minor, man. I don't think Haaland will play. So, yeah, that's the situation with that. Hello. Yes, pick up yourself. Say if Amrin is on 6.8, does that mean players like Bruno, Casemiro, Loan are earning more than a manager? Yeah, a few of them will probably earn more than a manager. That's how it always goes like that, man. The players, sometimes they earn more than a manager still. Yeah, it happens all the time. So, yeah, that's the stuff with City, man. We'll see what happens, bro. We'll see what happens with this. But they've got a lot of injuries. But remember, City's got a mad squad anyway. When you look at City's squad, they've got like 3 players for every position anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like we could have went in that game with all of these injuries. We wouldn't have even known that they got these injuries. You got what I'm trying to say to you? We could have went into that game, they fielded their 11, and we wouldn't have even known they had injuries. Because they've got their depth is so good that you might not even know what's going on with them. Let me show you. Look now. Look, and this is my point. I'm going to show you my point right now. This is what City's about. Where are they? Where are they? Look at this. Where is lineup builder? I think we should be beating them though. They've lost 2 games in a row. They're still the same team as last season. Come on, bro. I think injuries or not, we should be beating them. Manchester City. Look at this, guys. Let me show you lot something. StreamYard. Look at this. This is the team they went with last game, yeah? All these 3 are injured now. So let's just change them and see if you would even have clocked Ake. Put Vardio. If Vardio is fit, we'll put him there. We'll put Ake in. Stones is injured. We put in... Where's Ruben Diaz? Ruben Diaz. So look at that. You wouldn't have even known that anyone's injured. If they played that, we wouldn't have even known. You wouldn't have sat there and said, oh my God, they're not playing. You wouldn't have said that. You would have just looked at it and said, okay, that's a normal City team. They're playing us, etc. No one would have sat there and said, wow, this guy's not playing. You would have just thought that's a normal team that City's putting out. And I reckon they even start Donnarumma. I'll be real. I reckon they start Donnarumma. Where's Donnarumma? I think they start him. Because remember, this guy has won the Euros and he's won the Champions League. He's ready for any sort of game. Lamens is a bit younger and we're not sure with him, etc. They've got mad depth, man. And look at that. You can look at this. You won't even know they've got injuries. It wouldn't even matter. That's how much depth they got. You could start Doku. You could start Doku. You could start Savino, Oscar Bob. They got so much depth. It's crazy. This is madness. But yeah, let's just guess that. Let's just say Vardio is injured. Who else could they play there? They've got so much players that can play anywhere. Who else could they play there? They got a Nico O'Reilly. He could play. He played 18 minutes against Brighton, so I don't think he's injured that much. Let's look at our team now. This is the team I think we're gonna go with. Sesko. Sesko has to get his first start. Mbumo. Mount's injured, but it's not as serious. He might hit the bench. I think we go with Fernandes up top, Casemiro and Mainu. I'm not going with what's his name? Dalot's injured, by the way, guys. If you don't know, Dalot is injured. He stepped out of the Portuguese team. He's injured. He's not going to be playing. Do you understand? He stepped out of the Portuguese team before they even started the game. So it's spooky. I would not play Luke Shaw against Haaland. I'll play Mazarari. If he's fit, of course, swap them like that. Dalot's injured. Play Dorgu. This is how I'll go. That is my team. As soon as we get the ball, Fernandes, Dorgu's bombing up the wing, Ahmad, counter-attack. That's how we're going at them. Do you understand? Mainu can give us a bit of control in the middle. Casemiro's going to try that round the corner pass he does every time. You know what I'm saying? This is how I will go. Remember, but we got options. We could just go with Xerxes if we wanted to. If we wanted to, we can go like this. We could put Xerxes in there. If we really wanted to, we could put Xerxes there and then put Sesko up top. We've got options. We could put Luke Shaw on for Mazarari. We could put Aiden Heaven on for Mazarari. We could put Harry Maguire in and then go like that. So we've got a few options. But I think we play behind there and I go with that because Lamens, this geezer's just come. And if you look at how Ruben moves, he doesn't throw people in the deep end. And Mbumo came, he waited about 3 games to start. Cunha, same thing. Sesko hasn't even made a start yet in the Prem. This will be his debut. You got what I'm trying to say? So this is how I'm going. I wouldn't go like this, sorry. I'm going Mazarari, Yoro, De Ligt, Ahmad, Fernandes in the 10, Mainu and Casemiro in the middle, Mbumo, Dorgu and Sesko. This is my 11 for the City game. So let's see what happens, man. Let's see. At the moment, what's your prediction for the derby? I think we win, you know. I think we can win I think we can beat them like 2-0. I swear to you. I don't rate City. I don't rate them. I don't know what it is, man. I just don't rate them. I actually think we will beat them. I think we could beat them 2-0. I'm being serious, man. Like, I think it could be a thing where it's the first half, we're 2-0 up. And then the second half, and maybe it gets a bit more different. They switch it up a little bit. It gets a bit more tighter. But I reckon we could be beating them at least 2-0. Especially when it comes to against the big teams, we are one of the best teams in the Prem. We face all the big teams calm. Against the big six, we are comfortable. It's when we play these Brightons and Brentfords and that's when I'm a bit scared. Like, mate, Fulhams and that. But against the big teams, I think, it's easy for us. Like, we never get outplayed. The only team that used to kind of like move to us was Newcastle. And even at 4-1, that was more behind there. Let's be real. Do you understand? It was 1-1 going into half-time. And in the second half, we just lost 4-1. But apart from them, there's no other team. We've played City. We beat them at Etihad. We played them at Old Trafford. We should have won. Garnacho should have pulled it away. Arsenal, the last three times we played Arsenal. We've lost one, which we should have won, the last one. We drew 1-1 when Raya made like 100 saves, and then we beat them in the FA Cup. Chelsea, a narrow defeat. Harry Maguire scored and his toe was offside. Liverpool, we should have beat them at Anfield. We ain't played them again since. Who else is there? Tottenham, it's the only one that's always narrow. They get the edge on us. Do you know what I mean? And that's narrow as well. We don't get spanked. Anytime we play the big six, we're cool. So this is what I'm saying. I'm not scared of the big six, bro. I'm scared of the little teams. I'm scared of the Brightons and all of that. With some goals from Sesko and Boom, we could get results. Bruv, I reckon we win, man. I reckon we go with this lineup, we win. I swear to you, lot. I reckon we win that game there, man. Easy. But let me summarize what's happened, man. So I reckon it's about 8 players now. So this is the City stuff. Apparently it came out 10 players, but I reckon now this is the updated version, you might as well call it. It seems like it's 8 players injured. Haaland might be fit for the game. He might not be. But this is the players that are injured now. It's just them 8. They seem like they're going to be out. Vardio might be back. Ait Nouri could be back. But I don't think it's any difference. I think if we played Ait Nouri or they played Nico, like any of them players, you wouldn't even think anything of it. So we'll see what happens with that, man. Wharton, obviously, he's linked with Real Madrid now. We was linked with him. We had all these links coming out about Wharton. Us and Chelsea are in the race, blah, blah, blah. Now it looks like he's linked with Real Madrid. So I don't think we've got any chance of that if he's linked with Real Madrid. But then again, Real Madrid don't really spend money. So who knows what's going to happen. Real Madrid are interested in Wharton. That's from Fabrizio Romano. You understand? For those that don't know, I played a video in the beginning of the stream. And obviously, Fabrizio was talking about we're going for a midfielder in January. It could be Baleba. We don't know yet. But Sean Connolly came out and said, Man United are prepared to place a bid for Carlos Baleba in January to see if any of the rival suitors. The player has requested that Brighton accept any suitable bid and is eager to join Ruben Amorim's group with or without European football as he views the growing project as an irresistible opportunity. Bruno and Casemiro are looking to leave next summer. Do you understand? That's 650k off the wage bill. So much links about Bruno leaving. Ben Jacobs is speaking about it. Fabrizio spoke about it. So it's looking like Bruno might leave next season. This is the bomb squad that left. Lindelof left earlier, etc. We've done a few things, man. We should add an honor to this list, really. But we'll see what happens, my guys, man. And then I had more news about Cunha's recovering a bit better now. You get it? Look at this. Look at this. See, look, you only get the bombers here, man. I keep telling you, look, man.
So they respected
You only get the bombers here. Look at that. Ange Postecoglou has accepted Nottingham Forest's job as revealed on TalkSport. The former Spurs boss will be in charge for Forest's trip to Arsenal. Postecoglou held talks with Bella in August. So also in line for Forest role. Postecoglou is the new manager for Thing. That's crazy. Postecoglou plays some dead football though, bro. He always gets exposed. Man had all them losses. But yeah, he's the new manager, man. He's the new manager of Thing, Nottingham Forest. Ornstein Bomber. You're not getting Ornstein Bombers this early around there, man. Man said he's going to play against Arsenal. 60-year-old Australian will lead Nottingham Forest squad, joined by a number of staff to work with Tottenham. No, here we go yet, no? No, here we go. So, yeah, man, that's the situation, man. Onana, he's moved. It's going to happen on Thursday. The only reason it ain't happened is because he's still on international duties at Cameroon. So everyone comes back on Wednesday, and then obviously, etc. Here we go, podcast. That's what I just played you lot. If you lot just come in and you play it from the beginning, you're going to hear Fabrizio talking, etc. This is Fabrizio talking about midfielder, etc. Might go for a player like Carlos Baleba, 2026 January. In 2026 January. Haaland, this guy busts his face open by a bus. We'll see if he's gonna make the derby. He might play today. Norway play today. So keep an eye out on that and keep a lookout for it. So that's it, my guys, man. That's more or less it. Yeah, man, I'll be back on later. So make sure you lot smash the likes if you haven't already. I'll see you lot all in a bit. Love my.
Got some celebs, pull up local. You know we up next, pull up mobos. They don't see, they on repeat, they're like, oh no. Where's the mix? I'm gonna take a photo now. Photo now. For now, I'm local. For now, preserve the beat, I'm more loud. I said I'm more loud.